Hi folks, how you going? You can see 3 of my bikes packed in at the back like sardines. S1000XR front and center, and that's because today I'm going to fit a Hex ezCAN unit from Hex Innovate, and that is to primarily power a set of Denali D4 spotlights. Now these come off my old BMW, the R1250R. I crashed that, wrote it off, but salvaged the lights from the bike. So first step is I got to mount a bracket to the front of the bike. So let's get down here and start bolting this in. So this bracket here should be really easy to fit. I replace 4 of the existing BMW bolts up here holding this plastic trim in, and yeah, fit some longer bolts that come with the bracket, and that'll be that bit sorted. Should be pretty straightforward. That looks like it doesn't actually fit very well at all. Doesn't line up very well. You can see here I'm kind of stuck at this point and it doesn't really want to go in. That's annoying. Oh, I've taken it off again. Definitely putting it in the right way round. Let's start this bolt up first then. Let's see if the other ones fit, which they probably won't. This will be an annoying interruption to proceedings if I can't fit this bloody bracket. What is going on? These 2 bosses do not fit into the recesses properly. I don't believe it. I think the bottom 2 will fit. I'm going to prove that. I'll fit the bottom 2. So I wish you could see it a bit easier, but you can't. But looking at that hole at least, there's no way it's lining up with the hole in the bike. I have got 3 of the 4 bolts in, but one of them is always going to be, if not impossible, then a real struggle. What I'm banking on now is that the thread in the bike is mounted to something that moves a little bit, that twists a little bit. So I can maybe get a purchase on the thread if I put this in, move the bracket around. Oh, I can hardly move it around. Try and get the thread to catch. But it seems highly unlikely. I say that actually, now I've just got this Allen key and move things around a bit in there. Things are bending and things are moving in there, so it might mount. But ultimately I'm very disappointed with the fit. But I have a feeling, given enough time and effort, I'll get lucky. In fact, I think I just got lucky. I think the thread's just gone in. Oh, we're in. It's in. It's not fighting me too much. Can't believe that. I am very disappointed with the design, but I don't have to send it back or request a replacement. It is in and it's tightening up. Step 1 complete. Now you might think, oh, hold on, he hasn't put the lights on yet. It's gonna have to the whole thing's gonna have to come off. But I think once the lights go in there, I can attack or tighten things up with a spanner on the top here. There seems to be space on both sides. I can get in to tighten up the lights. So here's the exciting bit. Not that you can see it too well with your various camera angles, I think, but yeah, we're going to be going about there. Obviously, once we're finished, we'll get the bike out and you can see what's going on. If I just show you the other one, yeah, it mounts onto a little slot on this bracket. This bracket and the one on the other spotlight, they're brand new. The ones that came off the R1250, I managed to bend both of them. So when I crashed the bike, it actually went down on both sides, bent both brackets. So yeah, I had to get some new ones, but everything's adjustable basically there. And so that means it's height adjustable, swing adjustable. So I'll find a happy place eventually for these lights. It's looking pretty mean, although I've got to say it looks like they don't look quite straight with the bike, quite level. But I'll have to get a bigger perspective and get the bike outside to have a look. Now, the Hex ezCAN is kind of sold in two ways. It's also called the CAN Smart by Denali. Denali sell a version of this. It's more expensive, but it comes with more accessories, primarily more pre-defined or pre-built cables. This one comes with a kind of a cable kit, so you can make your own cables. I don't need to do that because from my last bike, the R1250R, I bought a CAN Smart for that, and I've already got the kind of cables I need to connect my spotlights to this unit. So let's get this out. Connects to your battery. These connectors, a couple of these, are going to go to my spotlights. Now, potentially one of these could power both spotlights at once. But if you use two leads, then you get individual control over the spotlights. So what I want and what I had on the last bike is I have both spotlights on, but when I indicate, one of the spotlights goes off on the side I'm indicating on. And then when I finish indicating, spotlight comes back on again. So you need individual control. You need two circuits to do that. So I need to just remind myself about which color cable does what. You got yellow, white, red and blue. So I'll figure that out. I'll try and remember what the hell this does. I'll come back to you. So that connector on the ezCAN goes into this, which I've just pulled out of that little kind of blanking socket. That does nothing. This is for the anti-theft alarm. So yeah, plugs into that, and then the other part of the piggyback cable goes into that. So I'm hoping I can remove this bit of the cover here. So you've got 2 bolts here, 2 bolts here, kind of underneath my little storage bin lid. This will come up, hopefully. I might have to take off the SW Motec tank ring first. But with that done, I think I can cheekily run my cabling up to the spotlights from here. I reckon that should be fairly painless. When the seat's back on, oh yeah, you're already in position. When the seat's back on, it basically covers pretty much all this. So you won't see the cables coming up or disappearing under the cover. That's what I'm hoping. Right, can you see that? I think you can see that on this camera. So it's been helped a little bit. You can't see this very well. In fact, let's use this camera. So I've made a hole in the plastic here before, so I can connect this diagnostic connector through there to my GS911, because that basically lives on the bike permanently. That's helped me feed these cables from that position back here to run back to the front of the bike. You might not be able to achieve that. You might not be able to get all these plugs to this area. So yeah, you might have to think of another way of doing that, or mount that somewhere else. But I like this position because I can access the diagnostic port. So yeah, that's good for me. May not be good for you. Sorry about that. Let's run some cables up to the front of the bike and just do a test run. Just see if the lights actually work, which they should. Pretty sure they should. I hope they will. The way these cables are set up for their headlights, as I said earlier, one cable could run both spotlights if you wanted them to behave as a pair. So the cable comes with 2 plugs. I only need one of them because I'm using 2 cables, one for each spotlight. So you basically tape up, and I think I'll re-tape up the unused plug there. Right, this is literally the first switch on. I haven't configured the ezCAN yet. I presume the lights will come on because they are connected to the ezCAN. Oh, where's my keyless fob jobby? Okay, absolutely nothing has happened. Well, that might be because I've not started the bike yet, and they won't turn on until the bike's running. Could be that. Let's flash the main beams, see if they come on with a flash. Nope, there's not that either. Let's start the bike to see if they come on. No. Ah, yes. Yes. Now I've got to admit, they're actually real life flickering, not just flickering on the camera. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So flickering lights, I think I know the reason for that now. You can connect, well, various devices to a Hex ezCAN. Some of these devices and add-ons have 2 wires and some have 3 wires. And if the Hex ezCAN is configured for 2-wire output and you're using a 3-wire device, I think that can cause flickering and possibly vice versa. My lights, since they can have their brightness controlled, they are 3-wire devices, 3-wire components. So I just need to make sure the Hex ezCAN is in 3-wire mode. Where's the 2 light? Oh, 3-wire dimming mode. There you are, I think. So I think you can't see this, but I'll have a quick look to see if now the lights are not flickering. Yes, that's the one. No more flickering now. Perfectly solid light. So yeah, I had to enable 3-wire dimming mode. I want them on during the day, but I don't want them very bright. I don't want to annoy drivers. So when they were fitted to the R1250, I had them set to 20%. But at night, I was getting flashed by oncoming traffic when they were on 10%. So basically, I don't use them at night on low beam. So my configuration is 20% during the day and 0% at night on low beam. And if I switch to high beam, then they're 100% in both cases. Is there anything else? Yeah, there's a switch that says turn the light off when your turn signal's active. So on the side I'm indicating, the light will go off, which is quite handy. The light's only on when the engine are running. That's a nice switch to have. So don't drain the battery. Strobe when the horn is active. I don't like the strobing options really. So I'm not a big fan of them. So I won't use those strobing options. Inverse flashing when hazards are active. So if for some reason I'm using the hazard lights, when the hazards flash on and then flash off, the D4s will be off and then on. There'll be alternate flashing, which is kind of nice. So I think that's it. Job done. So I'm just going to Velcro the Hex ezCAN to the side of the bike, tidy up the cabling. I think I can successfully run the cable along the inside of this plastic panel. Just have to undo a couple of screws on either side to help run underneath. And at some point, we'll go riding at night. But I think rain is coming this weekend, so it might not be this weekend. Hi there, how you doing? I am out on my S1000XR. The time is 10 past 10. It's still not actually quite dark. I think the GoPro's not doing a bad job of capturing the sky there, but chances are it won't be realistic by the time I start riding. It's going to get smudgy, as GoPros tend to do at night. Even at 31 miles an hour with a low beam, I've had enough of not being able to see where I'm going. Because the low beam, I think maybe on this bike, is a tad low. The cutoff is a little bit early on the road. And riding like this, I can't see a great deal. Hey, it might be my eyes as well, you know. I am 50 odd years old. 50 very odd years old. So, I'm about to turn on the Denalis. Stand by. Oh my gosh. Now I can't compare the normal main beams. Well, actually I suppose I could turn the spotlights off and keep the main beams going, but I don't want to right now. Suffice it to say that the main beams and the Denali D4s are incredible in these dark conditions. But I'm just going to go back to the low beams. The low beams, I've had worse low beams on motorbikes. This isn't too bad, but I do feel, I feel actually like I want to slow down, and I'm doing less than 40 already. Main beams and D4s, just wow. Gives you so much more confidence in dark conditions. You can see everything, it's amazing. The only problem, like you can see right now with the road signs, bigger road signs facing you, when you got the main beams on and the D4s, they can get quite blinding. That is a bit of a problem. In a kind
kind of an extra urban intercity environment where there's more road signs, these D4s are not actually that much fun at night. There's just too many reflections. But look at this. Again, back to low beam. I don't even want to, but I will, in the interest of science. Yeesh. Now, about 100 meters down the road, it's just pitch black, you know, just beyond that cut-off line. There could be something in the road, and I wouldn't see it until it's within my low beam, obviously, when it's a dark environment like this. That just changes everything. I can see so far down the road. Not just looking straight forward, but I can look up, you know, into the tree line. I can look left and right quite clearly, or I can see left and right quite clearly. Ah, the view is incredible. Yeah, I don't ride at night very often, but maybe this summer. Oh, now see, here's a problem. Oncoming vehicle. I've gone to low beams and I can't really see where the road is. Really got to be cautious, especially on dark roads with no cat's eyes. On A and B roads, maybe where there are cat's eyes, they really save you when you have to drop into a low beam. On a road like this, yeah, to be honest with you, having to drop to low beam is a bit frightening sometimes. Because I'll do it again, you just don't know what's up there. There could be a bend coming up and I wouldn't really know. These country roads often have animals on them, thinking that all the humans have gone away for the night. So you might find foxes or badgers and that sort of thing just in the middle of the road, or scurrying for cover. And these spotlights really help a lot for that sort of thing at night. However, if traffic is coming the other way, suddenly comes round a corner, you've got to jump on that light switch quick. Yeah, if you think there's a bit of traffic about, hover over that main beam button, because with great power comes great responsibility. Oh, look at this. Sheep, I think, or maybe goats. They're actually deer. It's a whole family of deer just crossed. I don't know if the GoPro picked that up. That was amazing. Hold on, there's no one behind me. Oh, they're scarpered now. I can't blame them. I think that was deer. Wow. On a summer night like this though, you also might get surprised by pedestrians just going for a summer stroll, a summer evening stroll. So again, I don't want to blind them either if I can help it. Low beam. Oh, look at the low beam. Yep, 20 miles an hour is about as fast as I want to go. But the cornering lights with the low beam on this bike, really, really helpful. Because LEDs have a really sharp cutoff, and when you lean in the direction you're going, it's hard to see anything at night. Let's go back to mains. So what I'll do here is I'll put the spotlights into configuration mode. Bear with me. I lean the multi-controller to one direction. It should flash. There you go. And I've just turned them off to 0. And I'm turning them on to full again. So that's with my bike on main beam. There you go. 0. So my main beam went bad. Now I'll turn on the spots, and yeah, it makes a hell of a difference. It feels like I've got twice the main beam that I had. If you've got the money and you ride at night, yeah, I can't recommend these spotlights or similar spotlights enough. So with the low beam there, yeah, you can see the cat's eyes maybe for the GoPro, really helping you out in terms of seeing what the hell's coming up. But gosh, vehicles have never failed to impress me. I do remember on the 1250 when I had these lights fitted, because they're so bright right in front of you, like down on the ground less than 50 meters away, it does make the road quite bright. The view ahead is much more comfortable for the eyes when you're on a dark piece of tarmac rather than this kind of lighter grey stuff. But you can't have it all. It's still an amazing view further down the road. Well, in summary, if you can still see anything for the GoPro, spectacular Denali D4 spotlights. And the S1000XR that the lights have been bolted onto has been an absolute treat tonight, especially with the reasonable low beam and the cornering LEDs. So I'll sign off now and see you in another video soon, folks. Take care. Ta-da!